life be like in Alaska? What would life be like in Alaska? Chapter 3 of your guidebook on how to survive mission starts now. Okay, once in a while we're going to be actually outside TCS Films HQ, and this is going to be the first time that has actually happened. We're actually in a southern Lincoln church, Lincoln Berean to be exact, to talk to a person who did some fantastic work, which you'll enjoy hearing about, in Alaska through Campus Crusade for Christ. And for once, I actually get to interview someone who did not know me in my pull-ups days. We actually go quite a ways from TCS Films HQ, 2,054 miles to Juneau, Alaska. However, that's not where we're talking to this person. We are actually 2,041 miles from Juneau to a church in Lincoln, Nebraska, where we meet Jenny Hershberger. A very... you're very happy to be here, apparently.
I am. Thank you for asking me to be a part of this.
No problem. Now, we've known each other since, like, what, 2009? I know we met at some,
I think it was a...
swing dance party?
Yeah, swing dance party with the college group. Probably 2009, so it's been a while.
That's true. And you know what's so funny? I don't think, even though I've been to a few of those afterwards, I never really went swing dancing, because I don't swing dance very well. I'm not that good at it. I did not swing dance since until I was just at a birthday party just like not that long ago, and that was like the next time I swung danced.
Really?
So I mean, yes.
You should come out more. It's fun.
Come up. Where?
You should go out more.
Well, thank you for coming along. Now, I think this is very interesting because when you first came onto this project of yours here with Campus Crusade for Christ, well, first off, Campus Crusade for Christ, define, explain.
Explain Campus Crusade for Christ. Campus Crusade for Christ, they now go by CRU, and they're basically an organization whose they see their vision and mission is to create lifelong disciples of Christ all throughout the world. So one of the reasons why they changed their name from Campus Crusade for Christ to CRU is that they found that they wanted to reach beyond just campuses, and they have summer missions programs and year-round missions programs all over the world in several countries. Just almost any continent that you go to, CRU is there and making disciples for Christ. And but they are very specific about discipling people in college as well. And I know that the university here and Wesleyan here both have CRU on campus, and the students can come and meet once a week and have a worship time. And it's just a really great way to get connected with other believers and encourage one another in Christ.
So how is it spelled now? Is that CRU?
Yep, just CRU.
You did some work in Juneau, right? As I said from the onset.
Yep.
What was basically the mission there?
The mission there was to, kind of the same as CRU all around the world, is just to reach out and make lifelong laborers for Christ. Both the team, so it was a group of about 40 college students coming up, and they have leadership who are either full-time CRU staff or students who have already been on what we call the summer project the previous year. And so the goal of the staff is to really pour into the 40 college students who come up, make sure they know, what it looks like to walk with Christ, what it looks like to stay in the Word, to have a prayer life, to evangelize, to reach out to people and love them in the name of Christ. And then kind of the goal and desire and heart behind bringing up 40 students to Alaska is not that it's just a beautiful place to encounter the Lord in His creation, but also to reach out to the people there at Juneau. Juneau is a really diverse place. It's pretty small, only 30,000 people, but the only way in and out of Juneau is by boat or plane. So a lot of times people feel very trapped and isolated there. In the winter, there's a lot of darkness, and so there's a lot of seasonal depression around there. There's a lot of just drug abuse and alcohol abuse in the community, especially with the youth. And a lot of them are just, like I said, they just kind of feel trapped. Like it's incredible being up there in the creation, and it's just, you have mountains and you have ocean and you have beaches, and it's just so amazing. But sometimes when people don't know their creator, it's hard for them to even see what's all around them.
Let's go step by step. I won't go day by day because that'll take too long. But let's go step by step in terms of what you all did during your trip.
Yeah. Well, first of all, getting up there was an adventure of a lifetime. I went with a caravan of 4 cars, 12 college students who I'd never met before, and we drove through Canada. And that was just really incredible, driving through some of the mountains and the Rockies, and just really kind of through the road trip, just processing and giving to the Lord. When the students arrive there, one of the first things they do is they go and they find a job, and sometimes you get a job right away because there's a huge tourist industry in Juneau, and so there's a lot of cruise ships coming in every day, anywhere from 2 to 5 cruise ships a day. There's over 1 million tourists who come there every summer.
Now this is CRU, C-R-E-W this time, right?
Cruise.
A cruise.
Yeah, cruise ships. So lots of tourists, lots of rich people coming to see Alaska. But some of the students actually will take up to 2 to 3 weeks to find a job. And so you really see a process of their faith growing, because they're like, okay, God, I've given my summer to you. I've raised all the support to get here. I've maybe even paid some of my own money to get up here. And are you going to provide a job? And we've actually had, every summer everybody gets a job, but we had one summer where a couple of people, their job only went halfway through the summer, and it was really, really neat to see their faith grow as they watched the Lord provide for them as they volunteered in other areas. But the reason why they get the job is so that they can get to know local Juneau people, and just kind of get to know them, build relationships, and then try to share the gospel in that way, because the gospel is meant to be shared in a relational way.
So what next happened after you got the job, as that kind of started transpiring, those relationships started building?
Yeah. We would host events and invite people, try to get more community going, because a lot of times people, if they're working over the summer, they just they work and then they go to the bars at night, and that's just kind of what they do. But if we could create something outside of that for them to come to, it'd just be a better way to build relationships outside of work. And so we would host things in the evenings, like campfires on the beach, or potlucks, or ultimate frisbee is big up there.
So then, what kind of activities did he do?
I could talk about kind of training the students, or just the evening activities that we would do, kind of ways to pour into them. So most CRU summer projects, you're together as one body, but the Juneau one is a little bit specific. We have a women's project and a men's project. And so we would have what we would call Women's Development Night, and we would usually do something fun out in the wilderness. Like we would take them for a hike, and we would have them kind of journal about different things that they were believing about themselves that wasn't true, like I'm not beautiful, or I don't have purpose, or that me coming up here was a mistake, or just lots of different issues that women struggle with their self-esteem or their appearance, or relationships with different people in their lives. And I remember this was really meaningful for me when I was first a student. And then for every lie that we had written down and prayed about, we had to pick up big rocks and put them in our backpacks. And we went up this steep hill that was at a like 80-degree angle. And when we got to the top, there was a gushing waterfall to represent God's grace. And so we would kind of pray over our lies and throw the rocks in the waterfall. And that was really freeing for me, because there were some things that I was struggling with as a young woman that I didn't even realize were lies, and I didn't even realize that other women struggled with. And so just coming together and praying over that afterwards was really life-giving and freeing for me. And so we do something like that with the women once a week, and the men do something separate. And we also do service projects around town once a week. We volunteer. There's a women's safe shelter there for women and children. We volunteer there. We volunteer at a Bible camp that's there, just different churches, youth complexes. We just kind of call around the city. Homeless shelters, we'll say, you guys need something. We have 40 college students. We're willing to help.
So, aftermath.
We have this thing on project that we say you have to die to project, and it is definitely a process going back to the real world, whether you're going back to a job or you're going back to college, and you've spent your whole summer with these 40 people that you've grown really close to, and you've walked with, and you've changed and grown with. And it's kind of, as morbid as it sounds, it's kind of like someone in your life dies. You have to kind of mourn the loss of project and say, okay, Lord, I grew with you so much, and you're going to continue to use what I learned to grow me, but you can't go back and live project in college. I mean, you take the things that you learned and you go back to your college, but you don't, like, nobody's gonna get your inside jokes. Nobody's gonna, hey, remember when we caught this huge fish? Remember when we saw that whale? Remember we went hiking, or just did all these awesome things? And so it's definitely hard coming back, but it's also really good because it teaches. I really believe that because the students, they are working throughout the summer, and it's not just a retreat. I believe that it teaches you to go back and take what you learned to school or a job or whatever you're doing in life, and it really allows you to live missionally and for Jesus and just day to day. And it's more of living life with Jesus than a mission trip, I guess.
Gotcha. But have you been able to keep in touch, at least, however, in any way, shape, or form with your crew or the people you minister to?
Absolutely. Facebook is fantastic for that. Phone calls, texts. I'm actually going up there this summer for a couple months, again with crew, and I'm very excited just to see those people again, because they become like family to you when you spend that much time together and you go through experiences like that. So, and I'm looking forward to meeting the new students who will be coming up as well.
I'm confident you will be seeing the same people this time around, or?
It'll be about 35 new college students who have most likely never been even to Alaska, and then about 10 staff people, and I'll know most of those. But I feel like I have brothers and sisters all throughout the U.S. from the 2 projects that I've already done, and lots of people in Juneau who I'm just really close to after being there for so long.
2 projects. What was the first? What did I miss?
Oh, I went up there in 2011 as a student, and that was my first time. And so I got a job, and I was poured into by leaders. And then when I went up there I actually stayed. I loved it so much that I stayed between the 2 summers, and then summer of 2012, I had the opportunity to be on what they call student staff. So I was on leadership and able to disciple and pour into the women who came up for the first time. And that's what I'll be doing again this summer.
So this has really been something that's been on your heart, really, all these years. What about these people in Alaska has really been tugging at your heart?
I just love what Jesus is doing up there. I love the local churches there. I really believe that the Holy Spirit is moving and has a special place in his heart for Juneau. And something I really think is key about Juneau is that it does, as much darkness that it does have there, it has enough light and community and fellowship there that they are wanting to train up missionaries to go out to the rest of Alaska and evangelize and disciple and build churches in other parts of Alaska that are really in need of it. There's several island communities that are much smaller than Juneau who don't have a church and don't have believers in their communities. And so I think that God has a really big vision for what's going on there. Another reason why Juneau is so special in my heart is that one way that I really connect with Jesus is being out in his creation. And I've just grown so much to love the mountains and the forest and the sea. And I just miss it all the time. I love it up there.
Future hopes, visions?
Future hopes and visions is that I hope that CRU continues to do a project up there for as long as they see a need. I hope that there will be more ministry reaching out to high schoolers up there, either through CRU or other churches. I hope that the churches in Juneau will connect and become more one. Sometimes they're fragmented, but we've seen over the years just more of them growing closer together and becoming more of a family. And I would love to be a part of the summer project as long as the Lord is asking me to, because I love discipling women. I love seeing women realize for maybe the first time in their life what it means to walk with Christ, and just encouraging them and calling out strengths in them and seeing them lead and serve one another and doing it all in such an incredible environment is one of my favorite things.
Jenny Hershberger, Lincoln, Nebraska native. Well, I don't know about native. Resident. Alaskan at heart.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us, and be sure to join us next time as we will show you a woman who helps women make the right decisions with themselves, and even after they made the wrong decision. Code warning to your TCS Films vets. You've seen this woman before. Trust me. You'll see that on the flip side. Now, Jenny, how many igloos did you see over there?
I actually didn't see any igloos, or penguins, or polar bears.
I didn't think of polar bears up there.
We're a woman-focused ministry, so we're focused on the women who come in here.
Woman-focused ministry?
Yes.
That's what I'm out here. Okay.